This is the Shed Knives Conquest. A beautiful 1/4 inch thick slab of 154 cm hollow ground, very subtly hollow ground in a tanto shape. They have another model Shed Knives does called the tanto, and they do different model years. So the 23 tanto, which you can see here on this channel, I did test of. Looks kind of like a Warncliffe to me, or a sheep's foot. To me, this is a true Americanized tanto. I am going to do some fun tests with this. Something I rarely do, but I have my camera woman here with me, and we can do this cool stuff outside and put this big chunk beast of a knife to the test. All right, so we're gonna do a couple of things. We'll start off first with sharpness. Let's just see with paper. This is a script from work, not worth saving. Let's see. Okay, so it's a very, very steep grind, even though it's hollow, but it's nice and sharp. You just have to get the right angle on the paper and not have the wind blowing. All right, well, we're gonna do some real stuff with this knife, because how often do you actually use a knife to cut paper? Probably not that often. It's more like you use it to cut cardboard. So let's do some cardboard here. What's this, an Amazon box? I can hardly get these. First, we'll use that tanto tip. Right. Now let's cut some of this. Sorry, baby. Yeah, for cutting cardboard, you definitely want something a little thinner than this Shed Knives Conquest. This is definitely a single layer of cardboard cutter because of that steep grind. But really, this is not your average EDC cardboard cutter. So let's get some of this out of the way. What else do we have here? Okay, we got some string. All right, single strand of paracord. Whoops. All right, let's see. That wasn't a fair use. Let's try it again. All right. All right. Cutting through that paracord decently. Of course, something a little thinner would zip through it a little more. Let's try it like this. Oh man, the mosquitoes are friendly today. Yeah. All right. That front edge, front tip there glides through the paracord pretty nicely. I am not exaggerating when I say I really, really despise mosquitoes. All right, let's try a cut like this. What do you say? All right, a couple of strands of paracord, 550 paracord. Hold on real tight. All right. All right. Now, let's see. Okay, so I want to do some, since this is such a beefy knife, I want to see what this pommel will do to the bottom of this aluminum can. Oh, okay. It'll do that, no problem. Well, let's see what the blade will do. Oh yeah. No problem. I see people use their knives as can openers all the time. This could do that, no problem. Let's see. How's that tip? Slightly deformed on the tip. Let's see. Okay, we got some of these zip ties. That's something you use frequently. Got this little trick from Scab. Works really well. No problem with these. All right. Okay, let's test this tip now. I'm gonna stab this tip into this board. I'm gonna put on some gloves so I don't get splinters. My precious little. Okay, ready? I just got the no nod. Okay, let's do this. It's so gratifying. That tip is insane. Very, very stout. Not going anywhere here. Let's see the handle. The handle here, this isn't comfortable for the thumb, but the side of the handle scale, that's G10, is very comfortable for the thumb and gives you great surety and a sure grip. Man, that's an awesome penetrator there. And that tip is not deforming, and I don't think it will. It's so stout. Let me try something just for giggles and grins. All right. Let's see. Look at that. All right. I think I'll try a little bit of carving with this, and then I'll split this and baton a little bit with it. Let's see how this carves. Is that a knot? I'm going to put it down here so I don't slip off and get you there. All right, got to get the right angle to get it to bite in. There we go. Ergonomically, let's see. I'm going to come back a little bit using that thumb ramp. It's really nice using that thumb ramp. You get some really good forward pressure and forward energy cutting like that. I didn't think that would be the case. Now in a hammer grip like this, without gloves, you definitely don't want to come up onto those jimps. But with gloves and just gripping right here, it's good. You don't get that same leverage though. That thumb ramp is actually really good for pressure cutting like that. Like I said, I think you're definitely gonna want and need gloves. Let me see. You getting eaten up, baby?
Yeah.
All right. Hang in there. Yeah, that jimping is really effective with gloves, kind of murder on the thumb otherwise, but that's kind of what I expect from big jimps on a fixed blade. This is kind of what I like in a fixed blade, these big jimps. I mean, they remind me a bit of like Tops knives jimping, but you know, so that's kind of carving it. I gotta say, until I got the right angle in there because of the stoutness of that grind, it wasn't working well, and then I got the angle and it worked beautifully. So operator error. Let's see. Let's really dig that in there and see how this blade, see if it loses its edge. And all right, so let's try a little bit of this here. Can I do this? Let me see. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Now, I don't know if I can do this. I haven't attempted it. You know what? I need kindling, so let me do this. Putting that wood aside, take a piece of this and do some batoning, as they say, batoning. No, I'm getting the shake now. Don't do that, Dad. Don't do that. That's so nerdy. I'm not here. I'm not saying that. All right, ready? Let's see. As expected, does very well. Sorry for that. That's funny. The other one I mentioned, the 2023 Tanto, I threw at our now decrepit throwing target and it landed on a stone and deformed the tip. I'm not going to make that mistake with this one, but they do not make very good throwers, I have found. Well, no, I guess maybe I don't make a very good thrower. It's more like it. What do we got there? Some sort of difficulty. All right. Now, let me see how this thing does if you're to try this little trick. What's this called? Not sure why people do that. I guess to get those little curl sticks. Oh, that works pretty well, actually. All right. Well, I'm gonna see how this edge is now after those things, after those little tests or chores. This did not do great on the initial, but I think that has something to do with how I was cutting that paper. And All right, it could use a touch up, let's say. And I think the front is very sharp, and definitely that sub tip. Yeah. All right, well, so the interesting thing about this knife, pardon me, is that this is an unheat treated knife. And so it will no doubt lose its edge quicker than a heat treated knife, but this one is totally unheat treated, as is the other shed knife I have now. Jack Billings has begun to heat treat now, but it's amazing. These shed knives are amazing because of, I don't know, what they can do. I assumed they would fold like butter without a heat treat, and he's had really great success so far. And I've had two of these knives, and you know, I haven't used this for a long time, so I don't have the benefit of time and wear with this, but I got to say, I am happy to hear he's heat treating, because that means these will be even better. But like, as it stands, I've been impressed with the knife before this that I used a lot more than this, and this one. He's got, let's see, he's got 8 models, I think, 7 or 8 models, shed knives. They're pretty stout and capable, and he keeps taking it. He's improving them and making them better every year, hence the model number. Here, this is Shed Knives 23. Just like a Chevy or a Bugatti, you know, they have their years. So every year he makes improvements and changes. And I think he has some big changes in the offing, and I'm very excited for Shed Knives, because this thing is a beast. And the way it's performing, I'm pretty I'm pretty impressed, and I think we'll continue to be impressed as time goes by. So, Shed Knives, this is the Conquest. Check it out.